And dip it into the sexy St. Jeff candle. No Buffs is back. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, along with my fellow tribe members, two guys who do a killer DeNiro impersonation, Trey Kirby and J.D.
You looking at me? Is that the line?
You talking to me.
Are you talking to me? You talking to me? I can't.
Here we go. Kirby?
Give me an ISO right here. You talking to me?
Wow.
See?
Hey, you talking to me?
I told you.
Yeah, we're good.
We're here to recap episode 11 of Survivor 44, titled I'm Not Worthy. Shout out to the live tribe joining us here on YouTube. And to all our podcast listeners, leave your boys at No Buffs a 5-star rating and review. Getting started a little earlier than normal here, because we just couldn't wait to dissect what many are calling the best episode of the season so far. Would you agree with that?
I think that's fair.
Yeah?
Most entertaining, I think.
Very, very entertaining.
First one I've seen with somebody having a very long thing stuck on their finger for no reason. So yeah, one of the best episodes of the year, I would say.
We start with night 19. Holy, that's
19.
not easy to say.
Night
19. You have to
19.
pause there.
Yeah.
Post-tribal council, Carolyn is pissed with Yam Yam, as they expected,
Of course.
because she was left out of the vote. She's making a bit of a scene here in the darkness back at camp post-tribal council. She's just devastated with Carson and Yam Yam, and she is struggling to turn the page. She says Danny sort of mocks her to the other ones out there. Mm-hmm. I loved this Danny episode because for years here on No Buffs, all we keep saying is give us a villain or two.
Man.
Give us somebody to actually root against every once in a while.
Yeah.
And he came through in this one. But Yam Yam, he's trying to smooth things over with her.
Yeah.
Sort of. I think Carson's doing a much better job. They sort of have a good cop, bad cop going
A little bit.
with Carolyn.
Yam Yam, I felt like he just wanted to hit fast forward. He knows when we wake up in the morning, it's all going to be good. She just got to get their emotional response out. So he's thinking, you did the response. Get over it.
Right.
It's going to last more than 10 minutes. So, I don't know. So I thought Carson was definitely the middleman, trying to smooth things over. And then when they woke up in the morning, all good.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting. We got a little quick scene where Yam Yam is telling the others, so not Carson or Carolyn, she's just upset about her perfect game being ruined. I was like, it hadn't even crossed my mind.
Me neither.
That she had been like on the right side of the vote everywhere and knew what everything was going on. And this is the first time that she didn't.
Right.
Danny, meanwhile, is trying to find out who the hell voted for him.
Yes.
He is, and sort you can tell it's driving him a little crazy as he is trying to figure out who the hell wrote my name down, and it was Heidi,
Right.
who he thinks is like his ride and die.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little fun twist there after they come back from Trouble Camp.
It's fun to see him not accepting it at all.
Yeah.
Like even Yam Yam comes up to him and says, it was Heidi. And he's like, okay, whatever, Yam Yam. It was probably you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Yam Yam, I was getting uncomfortable. I was like, just give her a minute, man. But there was a great line in there too, right off the bat. It's like, what does he say? Like, you did it to me.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, I've been in this scenario. Yeah.
And then she goes, once. Like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I did it once. She's like, yeah, but it just happened.
Yeah.
And then fair enough, right? Like that's exactly right. But Yam Yam just couldn't handle the discomfort, and that's sort of his MO, right? That's why he's always using humor to diffuse everything,
Definitely, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he couldn't walk her back that night, but obviously she's fine the next day, which is great. And they have a great relationship. They're actually really, really tight, which is nice to see.
Yeah, on day 20, we first get a little group meditation circle led by Jaime. Mm-hmm. We get some of Heidi's backstory. This was inserted here. She was hang gliding. She was doing, for a second, I was like, hey, I did that.
She did the edge walk.
Well, I don't
wasn't
think it was
Toronto.
Toronto. No, because Nora said that
I saw
too.
it with the hang, yeah, for sure.
She did it off some other building.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
I guess it's a thing now
maybe
in
in Australia
buildings.
or something. Yeah.
They'll strap you to any building.
So we get her a little backstory, and then yes, we get now. Everybody's had time to settle down a little bit. Carolyn and Yam Yam have that powwow. Carson shows up, and the Tika Three Stooges here, their alliance, they note that I think Carson notes, hey, we're playing a pretty under the radar game. They're on to us. Cut to, other people saying, we got to get rid of
We're
him.
on to him.
Yeah.
They discuss, though, how they should let Danny know that Heidi voted for them. I love this, thinking from their part. And then Yam Yam just tells them at the water well.
Right.
And like you said,
Yeah.
Danny's like, no,
Yeah.
no, she didn't do it. And he asks Heidi again, and she continues to lie about it. I was like, she's a pretty good liar. I was like, damn, there's no tells here. There's no humming and hawing.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Me too. And I liked that she was like, I'm climbing out of this hole that I created. I was confused, though. I mean, I went back and watched. I'm like, why did she vote for Danny? I guess she was in on the let's split the votes between Danny and Jaime, was it? Or whatever, wherever she landed. But she was the only one that ended up voting for Danny. So she's like on the outs. And then on double on the outs because it was her closest ally that she was trying to. She said, I can't believe that he even made it through the night. I'm like, it wasn't even close. But okay.
One vote only.
And getting back to that meditation thing, like
the
it was a
high-vibe
cool shot.
experience?
It was a cool shot.
Yep.
Moon dissolves into the semi-half circle.
Ooh, yeah.
I would be so fucking annoyed. Like at this point, day 20 now. Yep. I have to do 2 tribal councils, like sharing my feelings and like it's. We're opening up to each other now. It's just like I feel like Jaime is just completely out to lunch. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I thought she was on it this episode. I thought this was the first episode where I'm like, oh, Jamie's playing? And she knows what's going on?
She's like, oh, we're all kumbaya together. We're playing the game, but also we're letting our feelings out. Nobody's saying shit at that thing, right? Like, why you'd be a fool to. It's like the stuff that they're saying.
So you're saying the social
Danny's
game would be your shortcoming, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I'd be like,
what are these people doing 3 weeks out here talking to each other? Sharing their feelings? Ridiculous.
Exactly. And what's Danny saying? I just want to I'm grateful for breathing, like, or whatever he said, like.
And he got
walking
eliminated.
and talking. Well,
bad
exactly.
answer. They're like, we got to get this guy out. He can't even share something he's grateful for. I was going to ask you guys, but what's the point even now?
I'm grateful for this podcast. I'm grateful for
this podcast too, but we're not in a game trying to cut each other's throats for $1 million.
There is no. I think there's some truth to what you're both saying. I mean, yeah, Jaime, this entire season has been a little out there, and is just enjoying the experience of living on an island.
Yeah.
And maybe less so actually playing what is or can be a cutthroat game.
Yes.
That's her personality. But this episode, there were some lines from her where it's like, oh, she does know she is playing Survivor, and she's trying to pair it with the yogi and the meditation and the bonding, which is a part of the game.
And fair enough.
Yeah.
I would just, as a player, I would be like, this again? Like,
yeah, but of course
what
you can't
are you
get
gonna
up.
do?
Yeah, you can't get up.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to go take an aqua dump or go look for an idol or something.
All right, what are you going to do with the other 23 hours and 30 minutes of your day?
I don't know.
They've been doing this like every day. They've showed this so many times.
I know, but it's day 20. It's like,
it's a routine, man.
Yeah. Feels like it is a bit of a routine. And Danny, is meditating all the time.
This guy loves to breathe.
Yeah.
That's fine, but he's off by himself doing his jiu-jitsu. whatever that thing is.
I was, when I first saw the semicircle or whatever, I counted 6 people. I obviously miscounted. I'm like, oh, who's not there?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I was thinking what you're saying. Like, oh, somebody's like, I'm not doing this again. I'm done with this. I thought Carson was gone, but
no,
there was a good shot.
They're all there going, oh, yes, please share more.
This is going to get you on Survivor. This type of, this swerve. Day 20, I'm not sitting around talking about my feelings anymore. If we haven't talked about my feelings by day 20,
that's the thing. I would be sitting there. I would feel I would have to be bullied into the mindfulness. And I just...
Well, who's to say there wasn't a confessional that cut from the episode? It's on the, the editing room floor.
Yeah.
That it is somebody going, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, but I got to do this.
Yeah,
maybe, or maybe they're all into it. Like Trey's saying, what else do we got to do? Get our breathing
I can spare
up.
the time.
Yeah. Amazing. I didn't see that part coming in this episode, us debating that. But I love it, JD. Later on in day 20, they're all passed out on the beach. They meditated too hard.
We're good at this.
They're all just like, there's Yam Yam is like sleeping sort of while he's leaning, it appears.
Snoring in that position. Like, you're not even back. You're just like, that was great.
And this is where we get the Carolyn finding the lobster shell, which looked pretty cool. Like it was a blue one. Seems to like give it up right away. Lauren takes it, and then she wants it back right away. Just a weird little funny moment. And then they play paper, rock, scissors for it. And I guess Carolyn gets to keep it
but she
because she threw a paper.
She was very reluctant to take it in the end. She found it in the first place.
And then we get her swimming and all that. Just a little more fun, silly, really nothing to do with the game unless you're reading into something. Oh, Lauren threw rock. Are they going to rocks later? Maybe. Possible. Yeah. But yeah, just not a nothing scene. We like these type of scenes.
Of course, yeah. And a reprieve from the game.
Yeah.
That's the kind of reprieve I would like to take, going scuba diving or not snorkeling or whatever. It looked like Yam Yam was trying to catch some fish. Who knows if he caught anything. Right. And it looked like they had another full day off. Is that right? I mean,
yeah, day 21 is when the immunity challenge happened. So, yeah, that's why they had the meditation circle.
Let's chill.
Yeah, they're swimming,
go for a swim.
Looking for shells and
putting a lobster in my hair.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Relaxing time.
Yeah, I feel like they whiffed the comedy of the finger thing in the shell a little. Okay. I thought they could have played it up a little more. I think it was just there. I think whoever was producing this particular episode, because it appears they sort of take turns, like the producers, not the best comedy chops. And I think they just sort of did that to explain why she's in a confessional with this massive thing on her finger.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was part that, and when we get to Tribal Council and there's the Danny Carolyn sort of back and forth of how they approach the game and moving forward, like she does talk about this idea of like, I'm playing the game, I'm playing Survivor, but then there's downtime, and we can just do silly things. Yeah. And this was an example of that.
Yeah, but I thought it could have been funnier. The edit could have been funnier because they just could have let it breathe a little more, a different cue, more stuff with it. But then again, I don't know, Carolyn, maybe that's all she did with it. Right? Like those two little bits. I'm going to put this thing in my hair and I got this thing. And then back to confessional. And then she was wearing it. But I thought the rest of the episode, especially just shooting the shit on the beach, was just great. Like Yam Yam, and Carolyn just sort of lounging next to each other. Just there's a lot of space, a lot of air happening, and it's just like, well, who do you think? And then Yam Yam jokes, all three. I want all three to be me.
Yeah, that was pretty
Multiple
funny.
Personalities is a great line, but it's just like you can see their closeness, their ease with one another, and how tight their bond is. Which looking to next week, it looks like
decisions
are to be made. Yam Yam's like literally can't get it out of his mouth that I may have to betray like this person that I actually have a connection with. So yeah, the beach stuff, that day off stuff, we love. Keep it coming.
Oh, get used to it.
Yeah.
90-minute episodes coming
Camp
next
life.
season of Survivor. We'll get to that later. So we get Tika discussing targeting Lauren on the upcoming vote as a possibility. Yam Yam says Danny is with them, so they would, have the numbers. They could do that. Meanwhile, the other four, they're talking about targeting Tika, finally, right?
Yeah.
Specifically, Yam Yam, because of his social game. And there was a fun little part here, again, to lean into the villain edit of Danny, especially in this episode, maybe this season. I mean, I'm using villain very loosely. This is New Age Survivor. Like, this is the most villainous a guy's going to get on this show. But he talks about just how cutthroat he is. Like, they're talking about, like, oh, yeah, that'd be tough to vote out Yam Yam. He's like, no? Why?
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, probably not good strategy, really.
No.
But he's obviously speaking his truth. He's like, this is a game. Like, this isn't that big a deal. I've known this person for 3 weeks. I can still like them after it's all said and done.
Yeah.
But somebody's got to go. I don't want it to be me. He says, quote, I didn't come here to take part. I came here to take over. Uh-oh. That was every episode of Survivor, one thing the editors do, you say a bold line, like, I'm in control. I'm kicking ass. I'm taking over. You might be going home in 40 minutes.
You got to sit in every confessional and say, I'm probably going tonight.
You got to.
I'm out of here. You got immunity. I know. I'm thinking about giving it up.
Yeah, I might be vulnerable.
Like, wow, that's a weird move. Yeah, it could be me. But I mean, it shows you got to be likable. You know? And that's what Yam Yam is. I think that's a big part of the reason we saw Carolyn just being silly, playing with the shell and the finger and going swimming. Like, these are the most likable people out there. You contrast it with Danny, who's like, yeah, I'll vote you out. Who went home tonight?
Yeah.
The guy who wasn't well liked in his tribe.
Day 21, we get the immunity challenge. It's a Survivor Classic. I can't believe it was back so suddenly.
Yeah.
Just after we saw, who was it? Owen. Our guy Owen and Carla damn near defeat the challenge. I'm talking Last
Not
Gasp.
damn near. They defeated it.
They beat it. They ultimately both won immunity. But it's the hold your breath under the grate in the ocean. Carson jokes that he practiced it in his bathtub.
I don't think he was joking.
No, probably not. The water, a lot more calm. Yeah, the swells were not as aggressive as Owen and Carla.
Yeah. Do you think they adjusted as well?
Oh.
Do you think they brought it down? Just a titch.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. We did talk about that last season. Yeah,
they seem to be under the water longer. You know what I mean? Like you said, the swells were not nearly as intense, so they did have time to. The other crew, last crew, had time to. They were underwater for a long time, but they also had time to come up because the swells were so big.
So you think they maybe dropped it?
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
Well,
because
still would have freaked me out.
Yeah.
Lauren definitely freaked out. She lasted an hour because they had a lot of time for a while where you could still breathe. Anyway, she drops out first. Jaime pops up next. Panic set in pretty quickly, I think, with her, which I think would happen with me, so I'm not knocking her. Carson drops, so we're down to Heidi, Danny, Carolyn, and Yam Yam. Carolyn then pops out, then Danny. Probst is screaming. I mean, he drops a keep digging, which then the people sitting out were almost mocking. Lauren was like, keep digging. Yeah. They're underwater, you dummy. Heidi versus Yam Yam.
Yeah.
And he pulls out the victory, and he's so locked in, he doesn't even know he's won. Danny has to jump into the water and tap him or scream at him right there. You've won.
Yeah. I mean, you can't hear, obviously.
Yeah.
Or you probably can hear just muffled Jeff screaming, which he was doing the entire time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. Congratulations to Yam Yam. I was happy for him. I was just thinking of Owen and Carla sitting at home going,
Totally.
So easy.
right? I mean, how long were they in there for? An hour and 25 minutes.
Who? Last night.
Yam Yam, I think he won. He won with an hour and a half maybe, but they were in there for 3 hours? Over 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was long enough where the water started to go back down.
Receding.
Yeah.
I think it was a warmer day for this crew here in 44 too. The water.
I think so.
That was the other thing, the hypothermia setting in last season. Well, the
very,
very, very
cold
cold
go for
water.
an hour and a half here.
What's that?
How did they only go for an hour and a half if the swells were easier and the water was warmer?
That
maybe.
Well, I don't know that it was the water warmer. I mean, I don't know.
I have no idea. I have no clue.
Lauren was
They didn't
shivering.
note it.
Lauren was shivering.
Yeah.
But I was at nerves. Was she? She seemed nervous about the whole thing in general. But yeah, this is I've said before that I think that I could kill this challenge.
Yeah.
You're not so much.
No
Trey,
way.
You're
I could make it to the final 3.
Yeah,
Trey would be there.
Then who knows?
Yeah.
Then who knows? I got skinny hands, so I could make a good snorkel. I thought that was a hilarious line when Yam Yam comes in like, I remember watching Ozzy. I'm just worried. I can't make a snorkel because of my fat hands. That was hilarious.
Au contraire.
Yeah, he had a great snorkel going. The whole time I was just wondering, did Jeff bring 2 immunity necklaces? He says they bring 2 to every single challenge. There's always 2 around.
Wow.
They actually needed it for the first time. The last gasp.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, well, let's get to the plotting and scheming of all this. We got Yam Yam. He is immune from the vote. There is now a quick pivot to voting for Carson because, they were thinking about Yam Yam. They have the 4 votes. I mean, we're talking Heidi. Yeah. We're talking Danny. We're talking Lauren. And we're talking Jaime. And it looks like they're sort of moving in that direction. They're going to do some lying to Tika about where the other votes are going and all that. And Carolyn's bullshit radar just goes off here.
That's literally what it is, right?
I mean, unless, and they just took it out. Who was it? Like, who voted ultimately in the end in splitting the votes? Unless somebody told her this, she calls it.
But she couldn't even articulate it, and she's the type of person who would be like, Lauren just told me that they're going for it.
Probably.
But I think it was just her intuition. Like, it didn't feel right. Maybe it didn't make sense to her.
I thought it was an incredible move by her to go to Danny and propose Carson as the name. Very intelligent thinking, great gameplay. And, because she's thinking something's not right here, so let's go to where I think it's not right, to the guy I think lying. Mm-hmm. Actually use what they're saying or what they are planning to do but are lying about, and see what he does. And he sort of stuttered through his response, and then she was like, oh yeah, he's definitely lying. Like, they're going for Carson here.
Right.
Well done on her part there. Now we'll get to the whole, obviously, idol being played. Ultimately didn't need to, because two of them did side with Tika in terms of splitting the votes, but she called it again. This is like the third time, it feels like, in the game where she's picked up on something just not being right.
Yeah.
And be like, all right.
Maybe she's psychic. She's got that way about her, you know?
She does. She does indeed.
If I visited a psychic and Carolyn was there, I wouldn't be shocked or surprised, like...
But also, why would Danny be targeting somebody else? Why would Danny be targeting somebody who was not from Tika?
Yeah.
Numbers-wise.
Right.
They had 3. Also, Soka had 3 at the time. That's who he should be going for. And Yam Yam was already locked in.
Yep.
And I'm sure that Danny is probably like, we got to get the strong people out. I don't know if that means Carson, but we at least hear Jaime mention Carson's really good at challenges. First person to mention it the entire season, and he's been dominating them. So maybe he was, I don't know. It just seemed to me like Danny obviously had to be going for Carson. Why would he be going for somebody else?
Right.
Carson tries to bring in Jaime and Lauren to their side, to his side. Carolyn tells Yam Yam they need Carson. Because so she is like, this thing I think going on here that they're going to vote out him, this cannot happen. We need him. We need to vote out Danny. And Yam Yam agrees. He's like, okay, yep. Then Carolyn tells Carson she found the idol. Finally took, basically 3 weeks of her having this thing. She found it really early.
Yeah.
From the birdcage. And she tells him he is ecstatic. She says, quote, "You're the most amazing person I've ever met." They have a hug. I am sitting there going, oh, this is going to happen. Now I'm just terrified. I was thinking, worst case scenario here. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to take her idol and flip it around on her. But they're also terrified that Danny has an idol.
Right.
And I think that is a big part of how this ultimately the vote shakes down here, where it's 3-2-2 and Carson's are wiped out because she plays the idol for him. But thoughts on her telling him? No problem with it? Surprised?
I think that she's told him so that he wouldn't play his shot in the dark, I guess. I'm assuming. But why? Or just so that he didn't panic and do something crazy, like try to vote her out, or... I don't hate the move. They obviously get along together, and they're working together. They work together really well.
And she thinks 4 votes are more than not likely or going on.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
What do you think of her decision to tell him how she played this?
I think that once she told Carson, it was smart to play it, even though it didn't really matter for him, because it's like, if the information is out there, even if you've told one of your closest allies, it's going to disseminate by the time you get to the next tribal council. Ergo, she would have a lot bigger target on her back, so the fact that she played it didn't really need to, I think... Fair enough, but also I think it's just a matter of we've got 3 strong. We've been 3 strong the entire time. We've voted everybody out since the merge.
Yep.
Why wouldn't she tell them?
Right.
Especially after they had a little bit of a blow up, and it felt like things were uncertain. Let's lock in together. We're still going forward here.
Right.
Do you think she also told Yam Yam?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're tight.
Yeah.
Yam Yam and Carolyn are tighter than Carson and Carolyn.
100%.
They seem to have like a real relationship. Like they interact with each other the way people do, like getting mad at each other for a night, and then in the morning you're like, it's all good.
Yeah,
we were just fighting. I was emotional. That's real stuff.
Yeah, it's probably likely he knows. Did he find out way prior to Carson finding out? We never saw it, of course. no idea. Anyway, night 21, it's tribal council. We're there for a long time. When we went there with like 20 minutes to go in the episode, you're like, well, okay, an idol's being played here.
Right.
Is another one? Is Heidi's being played? And you're like, what's going to happen here? There was an intense sort of, can I call it that? For tribal councils nowadays, it was intense. The weird back and forth about how Danny looks at the game and looks at tribal councils and Carolyn. And then even Carolyn getting pissed with Jeff's like snarky comment about needing more sleep.
To be fair to Carolyn, it was a bit snarky.
I agree.
The tone of his voice was like, maybe you should get some sleep, you know? Like, okay. Also, I didn't really understand why she was upset with Danny just basically disagreeing with, like, I didn't kind of make the connection.
I thought that was two bad analogies. Neither one of them made sense. I didn't get it at all.
She was taking it really personally that, all right, you disagree with me, you know, like.
Okay, so let's talk.
She wanted to walk the Shake Shack last night. As well.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's me. I get that. That'd be the hardest part.
That's the extra.
Totally.
The circle. She had too much of it.
So she was saying the way she approaches Survivor, looks at Survivor, like, talk me through this, because I was a little confused too. She was sort of saying the idea of like playing hard and then
you get a day off.
And then you get a day off and sort of we can be normal.
Yeah.
Or as normal as you could be and then
you get thrown back into it.
Right. And then so Danny was saying then he had the whole boxing sort of analogy. And I thought he was just saying the more times we come to tribal council, the more comfortable you might be because you've gone through the steps. You know, your strategy is getting better. You're just routine is all, was what he was saying sort of poorly, I thought. But that's all he was saying, I think.
I think that's exactly what it was.
And then Lauren said something about, she had a word that sort of triggered Carolyn. Was it emotional or?
It was comparison is the, what was
he
it?
said comparison is the thief of joy.
Right, but what did she say?
Experience versus emotion, right?
Is
what they were talking about.
And then she was like, I didn't mean that, bad word. Yeah. Lauren was saying this.
Yeah.
It was very strange. And then, even Probst getting involved. But Carolyn was really pissed off. I'm with Trey. Like, she was, like, going through it. She was a little upset. But everybody was laughing.
Right.
Like, the jury was laughing. Probst obviously thought it was funnier than it was to her.
Yeah.
Yam Yam even explaining, like, this happens all the time.
Right.
With her and I, or how she reacts.
Yeah.
But it did feel like, I felt a little bad because, like, the empathy was like, I don't think, like, they think you're joking a little bit more maybe than they are, or they don't care. I don't know. But she was really upset.
Yeah, but it's unclear what she was upset about. Yeah. And I think they're kind of used to it. Like, even Yam Yam was like, this is what she does to me, guys. She'll get mad at me, and then she won't be mad at me anymore. And I have no idea what I did or said, you know?
Yeah.
So, But I did think that Jeff was being he was pouring it on a little much, especially, like, we can see that she's not happy.
Yeah.
And I assume that the tribe members are like, they're like, okay, well, she's getting the way she gets. But then he just comes in like a buffoon and it's just like throwing gasoline on the fire.
Yeah,
already,
he thinks in his head, I'm going to say the sleep joke, and maybe it's like she goes, yeah, I could use some more sleep.
Right.
Like somebody might react that way.
Yeah.
She's like, she was still processing all of it.
Not time for jokes right now, Jeff.
Yeah, and in her defense, she is trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. What are they all saying?
Right.
Where are these votes going?
Yeah.
Are we doing this split? Am I playing my idol? Yeah, a lot going on in her head. And obviously took a lot of time up in the voting booth to like crunch the numbers and try and figure it all out.
If only she had like a glass, window or something with a marker because that's
beautiful
like,
mind
mind style, the fingers. But I love the last minute sort of like calculations and how long was she up there for?
I couldn't believe they didn't put the like elapsed time.
Right.
I mean, how long was it? Do we know? Has anybody, I guess, has Danny said how long she was up there for? Was it 15 minutes? They made it feel like she was up there for a while. Yam Yam at Tribal Council, in my notes here I wrote, man, this guy is playing hard to the jury. Mm-hmm. He is playing the final part of this game already. I did die laughing when Yam Yam goes, we are all in awe of Carson, because we get a little Carson feel-good moment here, being the young guy out there and how he's sort of matured and all that. Danny is nodding no. You see that?
I missed that.
I mean, again, I'm sure it's just a weird edit, Yam Yam says, we are all in awe of Carson. Everyone's like, yeah. And they literally show Danny going,
I wish he had said, not me.
not me. Why? Why? He's got a 3D printer. Cool. I can buy one. I thought that was so funny. Then we get another Danny strutting up in the booth, and then we get to Carolyn counting all the numbers, and she plays her idol for Carson. 2 votes for him. They don't count. 2 votes for Heidi. 3 votes for Danny. And then he does his DeNiro impersonation to Jeff as he snuffs his torch. I saw some comments on Twitter to us about how cringe it was.
That's definitely the word I would use.
Really?
Cringe, yeah.
I mean, it's a good impersonation.
It was?
I
don't think it was bad.
I don't think it was bad. I think his face definitely contorted into DeNiro. I could definitely see it.
He looks like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't sound like him or talk like him.
Okay.
Isn't that part of it?
Well, yeah.
It's like he was doing DeNiro face the whole time then.
But it was the face that really sells it. He even called it the DeNiro face.
He did
I'm
call
gonna
it the
give
face.
him the DeNiro
That's true.
face.
He said, "El DeNiro face."
So it's fine. You did your DeNiro face.
But you sounded like Danny De Niro.
Right. Exactly.
Which is Robert De Niro and Danny DeVito having a kid together.
Probst didn't really know what to do.
I think in his mind, he was just like, I'm just going to let this breathe.
He let him do it for a while, I thought.
I was just like, okay. And then, are you done? Snuff torch, right?
Get it?
It's just
There
like,
he goes.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Were people laughing? Like, the jury, we couldn't hear them. Was there, like, the crew could have been dying, you know? Like,
They stopped production. They are howling.
that's good. That is good.
Do it again. Do it again. Well, let's get a couple of other camera angles in here on this. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the crew have seen it this whole time. For 20 days, this guy's been doing the DeNiro face. They're like, oh, he's doing it. He's doing it.
He said he was going to do it.
It's possible. Anyway, weird exit. Very, I guess, memorable. I don't know. Will we be talking about this one? Who knows? But he goes, yeah. What did you think then, Trey, of obviously her idol play for Carson? It didn't matter really in the end because of where the votes went. But do you think it was a strong play still, how it reads to the jury? Obviously, the protective part with the idea she's thinking that they're all going to go on him. What do you think?
I think playing it for Carson, even though he didn't need it, would be better than taking it to the end of the game and being like, hey, guess what? I've had this idol for 25 days and I didn't even need it. Because then people would say, yeah, because nobody thought you were going to make it here and nobody thinks you're going to win. So I think that playing it for Carson shows I've got a strategy here. I'm trying to pull off a move. I did keep this secret for a while. And when it looked like part of my alliance was actually in danger, I stepped up and played it for him.
Yeah.
I strategized. This wasn't a completely emotional play. I thought it out. Go check the tape. I was doing 2 + 3 + 3 + 2.
I was up there for
How
20
many
minutes.
possible correlations are there here? But I think her playing it is smart because she already told him about it. Like I said, it was going to get out anyways, so it takes the target off her back, and it looks like a slightly big move at the very least here, setting her up for maybe some more moves down the line.
It was Jaime and Lauren who voted for Heidi, so really went with Tika in this whole plan of like 3 Tika votes on Danny, 2 on Heidi, sort of cover our ass unless an idol's played from his side of things.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you that I think it was a good move in terms of... It's a good move in terms of Carson is going to think twice, thrice before stabbing her in the back. Now, it was going to be hard. Now it's going to be almost impossible for him to betray her. I think he's very capable of doing it, obviously, but there's that. How many more times can she play? Like, is it just next tribal?
I believe so.
Till final
Heidi
5,
has to play
right?
at 5. Yeah, she's got one.
Yeah. So not next, the one after then, right?
There's 6 left.
There's
Play
6
at
left.
6 and a 5, yeah.
So you can play
2 more
at 6 and
times.
5. So she could have, had she not played it, and then she's the target, she could use it for herself, I have a bad feeling that she's going next, to be honest.
Don't say
because
that. Don't you put
it
that out
also, they have been underestimating her this whole time. Even up the way she was acting at this last tribal council is just like, why is she acting like this? What's going on? Carolyn just being Carolyn again, whatever. oh, hold on, she had an idol this whole time and none of us knew? Like, that's a target on your back right there.
The jury popped, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like a good move, even though she didn't need to play it, but now she's got the big target and no protection. So I agree with you. I think it was the time to play it in her mind, and she didn't know it was going to happen. But and it would have been way worse if Carson didn't get any votes at all.
Yeah, it's true. At least some were canceled.
Not perfect, but good, I think. In general, yeah.
What do you think about Jaime and Lauren's decision here?
I mean,
women. No, I think that they're probably going to have a women's advantage.
You think?
Yeah. Going forward, there will be 4 women left, right?
Well,
Lauren, Jaime, Heidi, and Carolyn.
Yeah.
2 dudes. That's why
they already had it though. They had 4 women.
Yeah, but I mean, if they just, I guess that's right. Unless they wanted to go after Carolyn or something like that. But I think that will be the play going forward. Those 4 joining together to get out either Carson or Yam Yam. That's what I kind of thought they were going.
And Heidi does have the idol, the only remaining one, right now.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's take a break. We have a lot of great questions about this episode, the thinking, the strategizing, some silly ones. We'll get to those in tree mail. Don't go anywhere.
Here is the first thing I do every day in my kitchen, before coffee, before breakfast. I get myself a glass of water, get out my Athletic Greens powder, I mix it, and I down it. Athletic Greens is just 1 scoop in a cup of water for better gut health, more energy, and a stronger immune system. Actually, I lied. Sometimes I will take the cup of water from my wife's bedside table that she never touches and use that water instead of a fresh pour. Gentlemen, can we talk about our wives' bedside water habits? Am I right?
Women be drinking water.
Cleaning up like 5 cups sometimes. I'm the one taking it downstairs. What about you guys? What about you fellas, huh?
Oh, I always make sure to bring a water bottle to bed for my wife, Dassy.
You ever seen the movie Signs? I don't want to spoil it then for you. But you may want to leave that water out on the bedside table, that's all I'm saying. Watch the movie.
Watch it, okay?
All right. And it's still fantastic, even with that room temp water. Who knew vitamins tasted so good? So what is this stuff? With 1 delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole foods sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Feels good to start my day with vitamins that taste good. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. It cost him $100 a day. He created Athletic Greens after understanding how difficult it was to create an optimal nutrition routine on your own. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/nodunks. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/nodunks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition insurance.
I'm feeling saucy. I think I'm gonna buy it. Do you accept cash? Cha-ching! You gotta love a good old... Because Wayne, that's the sound of another sale on Shopify. And the moment another business dream becomes a reality, Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Whether you're selling name tags or hairnets, Shopify simplifies selling online and in person so you can focus on successfully growing your business. Shopify covers every sales channel from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform. It even lets you sell across social media marketplaces like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and if you live in a wood-paneled basement, cable access shows. Packed with industry-leading tools ready to ignite your growth, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand without having to learn any new skills in design or code. And thanks to 24/7 help and an extensive business course library, Shopify is there to support your success every step of the way. Party on, Garth. Party on indeed. What's incredible to me about Shopify is how no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify is there to empower you with the confidence, baby confidence, and control to take your business to the next level. So now it's your turn to get serious about selling and try Shopify today. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/nodunks. That's all lowercase for no dunks. Go to shopify.com/nodunks to take your business to the next level. Shopify.com/nodunks. All right, big news in the Survivor world. CBS has announced that 2 popular long-time reality competition franchises are getting the Super Size Me treatment. Survivor and The Amazing Race will air 90-minute episodes on Wednesday nights all season for the next season of Survivor, Survivor 45, instead of these hour-long installments. Yeah, we would sometimes get the 90-minute episodes. We would sometimes get the back-to-back episodes. Felt like 2 hours, obviously. But we're going 90 minutes for every single one.
Crazy.
Your thoughts?
Well, I'm excited for Survivor. I'm not excited at all for Amazing Race. It's one of the most tedious reality shows out there. I'm like, this thing is still on. Like, it's long. It's one of the most tedious shows on television.
So it takes a long time to go around the world.
But they don't even go around the world.
I don't know. I don't watch it. Who cares about The Amazing Race? You're excited about this?
I'm very excited.
Survivor.
Of course, yeah. We've been asking for this for a long time. I mean, it's just more time on the beach. I'm curious to see. Well, they're probably not going to do this, but are we going back to 39 days then? Let's have some more.
I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it too. But yeah, I mean, more strategy, more beach time, even longer challenges, like some of these challenges that, like the puzzles, struggling with the puzzles and just getting deeper into, how long it's actually taking.
What about reward challenges in more episodes? So
sure.
2 of the challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Trey, any concern going 90 minutes every episode, or
I like it in the fall. I don't like it in the spring.
Yeah.
I don't like it during the playoffs.
There is that.
That part is tough.
I agree.
But some of our favorite parts of this episode, like Carolyn with the weird finger, the breathing on the beach, controversial topic, or camp life moments, right? And seemingly we'll get a lot more camp life stuff. So that'll be cool. For sure.
And maybe some more flashbacks. Although I still think that they should add a 14th episode where it's all meet the cast. I think that we can handle it. We can handle a 90-minute. Let's meet all 20 contestants. Shoot it at Ponderosa as they're going in, and we meet them, and then we don't have to have the flashbacks during the show.
Maybe.
And then we're not reading into a flashback. Maybe they're leaving. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Totally. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people thought Heidi was winning that immunity challenge because we had just gotten her flashback. She's a badass woman.
Yeah.
It's like, she's going to win this. She's there at the final 2, and then Yam Yam pulls it out.
Right.
It will be interesting to see if there are any format changes.
Yeah.
Sort of to account for this extra time. Yeah. Are there more reward challenges? Are there more sort of like just beach life things? Do we just get better explanations for some of the strategy going on? How the votes shake out? We always assume they got to cut stuff out, not just for drama. I know you want to go to tribal council thinking, is it this person or this person? But some of the times it's like, where are we going to put that? How are we going to slip that in? How are we going to explain that to the audience? So now you got more time to work with. So hopefully it makes for more entertaining episodes.
Yeah, but the truth is, if I'm being cynical, and I'm in a mood today, so I'm being a little bit cynical, it's because they don't know what to put around Survivor. You know what I mean? It's like the programming, they're like, who's watching True Lies? Who's watching Tough as Nails? Like, they just don't know what to do. So they're just like, well, we got a built-in 3 million audience. Let's do it for 90 minutes instead of 60 minutes.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. A lot of people think, I even saw some people in the live tribe here joining us live on YouTube saying they heard maybe or caught wind of a writer's strike coming. And this is a way to cover your schedule for an hour extra.
Didn't even think of that. That's how we got Survivor in the first place, isn't it? Wasn't it from the writer's strike in 2000 or 1999?
Wow, was it?
I don't know. It might have been.
Wow.
So there's probably some
That could've been,
truth to that, or maybe it's just convenient for CBS to now have a 3-hour window that is
Yeah.
taken care of.
Yeah. But I think that they struggled in general in terms of like scripted dramas or reality stuff as well. Like, so you can't. Thursday night's a Survivor night, or Friday. I don't even know what day is today. Wednesday night's a Survivor night, and you're getting an extra 3 million guaranteed viewers from 9:30 or 9 to 9:30 now.
Right.
That's cynical me, and even more cynical are the Alive tribe. We're blaming it on the strike, and I think they might be right. So there you go.
Why don't y'all just get some more sleep and cheer up about getting 90 more minutes of your favorite TV show?
Oh, it's definitely feels like when we make our show and then we're like, oh, we should try and keep it an hour. Oh, we should try and keep it shorter.
totally.
Yeah.
For the most part, everybody's like, no, why? Just make
Yeah.
it longer. We want
Right.
more content.
That's true,
We just
yeah.
want to hear you idiots try and catch the bug on the table for longer. So
Yep.
Wow,
that's how
what a
we-
callback, man.
yeah, I know that was to another show.
Yeah, it still hasn't showed up
It's
yet.
still
Where
around.
is this thing?
Where is this bug?
That'll be a whole 30-minute arc on an episode of Survivor
yeah.
now.
Where's the bug?
Tracking down a bug in the shelter. I guess that was a whole episode of Breaking Bad, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's one of the iconic
Classics.
episodes of Breaking Bad. Let's get to some tree mail.
What is that when they call it like a bottle episode? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Like an episode of TV that happens in one
One, yeah.
location only?
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's right.
Some great questions here, some great comments. Thanks to everybody for tweeting them in. Hit us up on Twitter at NoDunkSync. What are you laughing about over there? What do you got? What funny comments? did you see?
Kyle wrote in to say, you don't want to catch the latest episode of So Help Me Todd?
Is that a
So
real
help me.
show?
Yeah,
Sure. Skylar
I've
Aston.
seen the ads. I just want to know.
So help me,
I just want to
Todd.
know how Fire County ends. Is that what it's called?
The firefighter show.
Yeah.
But that's not on. That's they promote it on Wednesdays, but it's on
Fire
Fridays,
Country?
I think.
Oh, is it country or county?
I don't know.
Fire country. I live in fire country. Oh yeah, what do? I'm a firefighter. What else?
Fire country. I thought it was county. It's a whole country.
Started off
always
as a
on
town
fire.
to a city to a whole.
Is that one on CBS or am I crazy?
It's a Paramount
it's
Plus
CBS.
joint. Yeah, so I don't know if it's
okay.
on the main line, but man, that'd be a great a list for some Survivor creator to do all the shows that they premiered during right
yeah.
after Survivor, all the crazy shows.
What about the Equalizer?
Oh, Queen Latifah.
That's right, Queen Latifah.
I think my dad watches every episode of
Oh,
The Equalizer.
So Nora, was it last night watching it, or maybe another episode earlier this season? Those ads, the Equalizer, like New York Blue Bloods or whatever. I don't know.
Blue Bloods.
She's
Yeah.
like, who watches these
Yeah.
shows? And I'm like, millions.
They're massive.
Millions of people are dying each week to know what happens on the Equalizer.
What's Selleck doing, man?
Yeah.
I started watching Blue Bloods
Really?
when it first came out.
Is it good?
Yeah, I'm a big Selleck guy. Magnum PI, the original.
Sure. Is that
You got one of the Wahlbergs in there, I think.
Really?
I think so. Donnie?
Donnie? Oh, yeah, I think you're right, actually. Nice, man.
What is it?
It's a cop show.
That's the thing. All those shows, they just feel the same. I know
Yeah.
they're not, but I even include like the CSIs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they're all
They all have the same pacing.
procedural.
Yeah, the same
but I think
vibe.
Blue Bloods is, I don't know, it's more of a soapy type thing. I was a big NYPD Blue guy back in the day, so
Okay.
that's why I was like, it's got blue in the title and it's about New York City cops, so I don't know, maybe. I lasted about literally half an episode.
What's been fascinating is that at least on Twitter, there's people have just figured out this show called The Good Doctor. You seen this?
I've heard of
Do
it.
you know the show?
It's
It
about
is all over Twitter right now. People sharing clips from The Good Doctor.
Oh,
And I've
okay.
never watched it. I knew
Same.
of it, but
Same.
you see the clips, you're like, this show is insane.
It's just like an autistic kid
yes,
who's a doctor.
doctor.
Like Doogie
It's like
Howser,
Doogie Howser.
but
Doogie.
autistic. Okay.
Yeah, and there's some crazy clips.
I'm a surgeon, Dr. Han. It's a meme now. Apparently.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's it. He keeps screaming, I'm a surgeon. I'm a surgeon. Okay.
In the operating room?
He's talking to Dr. Han. I don't know.
Dr. Han.
The only other clip I've seen is he's they're in a convenience store and somebody comes to stick it up, and he's like screaming with the gun, like everybody get down, and has like a piece of fruit in his hand, and he's like he doesn't know how to react.
Right.
And the guy is like sit, like get down, and he's like obviously he's like reacting, and then the guy shoots like his girlfriend or something or friend. Or something. I just saw the clip. But he's a doctor. I assume he saves her.
Hopefully, with the fruit.
Yeah. Is this good, Doctor? New spin-off podcast from Mattio. Brittany wants to know, or would like Trey to rate Jam Jam's cannonball attempt after the immunity challenge win, or she wants to know, can we even consider that a cannonball? Trey, what do you think?
Well, he wasn't in a ball formation when when skin made contact with the water. This might be too high of a score. I'm going a 6 out of 10.
Wow, that's way too high.
I know, but I'm grading it like it's an NBA dunk contest. 6 is the minimum. You gotta give him something, because at least he attempted it.
Did he? I mean,
he went for it and then realized, I can't grab my legs. I'll lose my glasses.
Here's the
glasses and the necklace.
Yeah.
He held the necklace too. Yeah. So there's too many things on him.
Can I add a third thing?
Okay.
I don't think he's realized how much weight he's lost.
Oh, he thought it was gonna hurt more.
Yeah, guys like me, basically, they got a little bit of a paunch here. Not a little bit, a paunch. Yeah, I'm not getting my knees up to
maybe.
Up to
he has
my
lost
nipples.
a lot of weight.
He has.
Yes.
Looks good. He looks good.
Okay, so you're giving it a
So
6,
he had-
the lowest.
I mean, he thought about it.
He thought about it.
So there's that at least. So there's a 6.
I'm giving him the
there.
benefit of the doubt on that. I'll jump into the pool that way this summer.
Record it.
Okay.
Yeah. But you lose your glasses in. Have you ever lost your glasses in the ocean? They're gone. They're gone forever.
Yeah, actually,
Those are nice-looking glasses,
Happened
too.
to me last year. I was wearing sunglasses and I was jumping in the ocean. I lost them, and it was like the most traumatic thing for Isla. She's like, Dad, I loved those glasses. I was like, well, they're at the bottom of the Mariana Trench now.
Oh, man.
We'll never see them again.
Well, I was in Jamaica, Nora and I, with our friends Beth and Jared lost his wedding ring
Oh, God.
in the water because we were like whipping around a ball, and he came up and he's like, my wedding ring is gone. And we were like, all right, let's try and find this. Like, we weren't in deep water, but I'm thinking the whole time, like, your ring is gone, bro. Like,
It's gone. Yeah.
He didn't tell her. They're up on the beach, the girl. He went and got goggles, and we're like, again, thinking of the area he's in. I helped him. Then I gave up, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
He stayed out there, pops up with it. Found
Wow.
it. Could not believe it.
That's
you could
amazing.
barely see. Like, you had to get your face off the sand like by 3 inches to see anything.
You can't see anything.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
He found it.
Wow. Like
I
Lord
was
of the
like, how
Rings
did we
style.
not? Yeah, I know. How did we not
crazy.
step
Yep.
on it and like bury it? And like, yeah.
And I mean, I've met Beth. I know Beth, sort of. I don't think she would be very happy.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
He
so.
lost his.
He was. Let's just say he was pretty ecstatic.
stressed.
He had found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job by him. All right, Doug, our guy Doug G. Would it be in the best interest of Heidi, Jaime, and Lauren to force a rock draw with Carolyn, Carson, and Yam Yam at the final 6? Or do you think there's still a chance the Tika 3 would split up? Let's talk this through looking ahead here. We're down to 6. We got the Three Stooges, Tika 3. We got these other 3. Are they forcing rocks? Do they even need to with the idol?
They do have a Heidi idol.
If they play it correctly.
They have the Heidel.
They have the idol.
Heidi Idol.
Or also the other part is somebody in that group could be like, okay, I'll go with them.
Yeah.
I mean, they might be wrong. I'm not sure any of those 3 would beat them.
No.
But they might look at it like, hey, they might start to squeeze out each other. I could be there. You know, you start getting into the, I just want to be there at the end and have a chance. That's also a possibility.
Fair enough. And that's at that point, that's a valid strategy. Just whatever. I just want to make it to tomorrow, right? But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would. Me personally, if I was on the other side of Tika, I would flip. I would go with them.
You would join up with Tika.
I would join up with Tika,
vote-
even
vote
though
with the 3
knowing
to
I'd
get rid
be
of Jaime
on the
or
end.
Lauren.
You would.
or Heidi.
I'm not going to rocks. I'm not going to rocks. That's not how I'm going out.
You just think you'd like to give yourself a chance to be at the end to somehow sway the.
My assumption would be at that point, I would be able to flip one of the Tikas so that one of them can go, and then just kill it. Do a Chris Underwood
Right.
and put myself in fire
Right, right.
and do my best. But yeah,
You don't see Heidi, Jaime, and Lauren doing this.
no.
Okay. Trey, any other thoughts on that?
I'm just trying to see, like, is there any relationship? Jaime and Lauren are together, right? They came up as Ratus. They voted together last night against Heidi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heidi was Soka all the way through. Jaime switched tribes from Ratu to Soka, so maybe Heidi and Jaime have a little bit of relationship, but they voted, Heidi voted, or Jaime and Lauren voted for Heidi. So I don't know. I mean, like, it doesn't seem realistic to me that those three will get on the same page right away and just stick with a 3-3 vote. But, I mean, it's easy to find a way to, like, flip this, right? You know, because, I mean, they're talking about we're in the majority here, and they are 3-2-1, but it's also just, like, it could easily be 4-2 very easily.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
It's like us looking in, though. We know, hey, Heidi, Jaime, and Lauren, the odds of you winning this game all depend on you being there at the three of you at the end.
Right. Right.
It's what we think, right? I mean, it feels like a Tika wins. One of them.
Yes.
One of them wins.
Yes.
Maybe not. Is there any way where two Tikas along with, let's say, a Heidi, you know, they eliminate each other in a weird way? Their games are too similar. I guess it's possible to sneak out a win that way. But, like, those three should be, like, especially with Heidi's idol, it should be, like, it's got to be us three ladies. And then it's maybe fair game. Any one of us could
They
win.
should team up.
Yeah.
And was it Jaime who said the end of the era of alliances is over or whatever?
Yeah.
And they were talking Lauren and Jaime a lot this episode where, like, they felt like they were in the middle and kind of making the decision. So, I don't know. It feels like maybe they could smooth things over pretty easily between the three of them to get on the same page, but it's a big ask. And Heidi doesn't have as much motivation, I would say, since she has an idol. So if she's like, I can just join up with these three, vote out you two, and then I'm in the final four.
Right.
Yeah.
She's got an easy path there if she wants it.
just going to rocks this late.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Would you rather lose by rocks or fire?
Oh, fire.
Okay.
I mean, at least your destiny is somewhat in your hands.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And yeah, you're competing too. I mean,
What if?
But I mean, if you lose by rocks, you can say you didn't beat me.
that's true. You're just like, just
Yep.
bad luck.
Bad luck. Got rocked.
Yeah, I guess. Still,
Oh, that was man. Both would suck to
Both
live
would
with. You'd be
suck.
like, God
There's no
damn,
doubt.
learn to
Totally.
build a fire
Yeah.
faster.
If you're a bad
or
fire
why did I
builder,
do
maybe it's
that?
okay.
I should have just survived, and who knows what happens the next day. All right, next one here from Dan. This is just a comment from a guy named Dan. Second episode of my life tonight. Why do I hate Danny so much? And I included this because we already touched on it a little bit. I like having a dickhead out there.
totally.
I think it makes for a better season, a better episode, better
100%.
arc. I don't even think he's that much of a dickhead, at least in the game of Survivor. I don't know him personally,
God.
but I like having not everybody having the underdog story or that. Like, it was great. It's like a great having both sides of the spectrum there.
Right, and he's having so much fun out there too.
yeah.
And that's his biggest crime, really. Is just he's just having a blast. He's like, I don't care. I'll vote whoever off. I'm gonna do a somersault now in the woods.
How many somersaults did this guy do this season?
Yeah.
Like, in the challenge, in the woods, jumping off docks.
Oh yeah.
He probably did 7?
17, probably.
17. Wow.
Drop the flip cut, Jeff.
So it's great, Dan, is what I'm saying, that you hate him.
No, yeah.
That's right. That's
Hate
right.
away.
Hate away, boys.
In this episode, he was sort of like, I don't care, vote him off.
Oh,
and he was
totally.
cocky, and he does just walk up to the voting booth.
Does he do a better Conor McGregor or Robert De Niro?
He looks more like DeNiro.
Okay.
He looks more like DeNiro for sure.
Okay. Elliot wants to know, or brings up this point, we got several more shots of Carson either standing over a fire or fire reflecting in his glasses.
I didn't
the
notice.
foreshadowing is off the charts at this point, right? Carson is gonna be in fire making.
Against Heidi.
You're calling it.
I'm calling it.
And why do you say Heidi?
Well, we saw a shot of Heidi in her flashback practicing making fire.
That's true.
And in the first episode, she was like, everyone's underestimating me, but I'm going to step in. I'm going to do fire. And she did fire very quickly.
Yep.
She knows what she's doing.
Trey kept saying it was her only arc for like
Remember? That's what she did.
six episodes.
Yep.
Heidi made fire. So you think
Put it in there.
You think you're calling your shot. Heidi and Carson.
Heidi, Carson, fire.
Okay. It's realistic to me.
Definitely feels realistic because this episode definitely was the first time where it seemed like Tika was going to be in the crosshairs and people were realizing they're making a lot of choices here. Like I said, Jaime mentioned that Carson was good at puzzles, so they are finally on to the fact that he knows what he's doing when it comes to figuring things out right at the end. And he's made bonds with a lot of people. Obviously, Yam Yam, very likable. Carolyn probably more likely to get taken to the finals, I would think, just because they don't really know how to deal with her at this point, it feels like. So Carson, you would want to put him into fire making, and we have seen him buy fires a lot this season, for sure.
But have we seen him making a fire?
I don't know, but what's interesting is if he goes in the fire making challenge, let's say he loses, it would be, in a weird way, perfect, because his whole thing is, I build all these challenges. I build all the puzzles. I know them all, me and my 3D printer. I've mastered them all. But how ironic would it be if the one thing he didn't master was building fire?
You think that he went to all that trouble to 3D print stuff?
He forgot
about the fire.
Can't 3D print a fire.
The most important
the element.
puzzle of all.
Oh, yeah. I think that's happening. Lock it in. Heidi's beating Carson in the fire-making challenge. I like it. All right. Final one here from Zach. Besides Bruce, remember Bruce?
Who?
Bruce! Are the only three people coming back for a future season the Tika 3?
From this season.
Yeah, from this season. Because remember, Probst is on record saying, Bruce, he's coming back.
Open
Got
invitation.
evacuated.
Anytime you want.
But Zach wonders, is it only Tika 3? He says, I guess Matt and Franny, if they break up, as many other couples who met on the island have not returned, but they have really dominated this season from a game and a camera standpoint. The Tika 3.
Yes.
Which is definitely true.
They're on a lot.
Yeah, what do you think? Besides Bruce and the Tika 3, does anybody else have a chance of a returning season, which hopefully comes in Survivor 46? Or
I personally don't think so.
Okay.
Name some names. Convince me.
Well, okay. Of the anyone left in this game, you don't think Heidi, Lauren, or Jaime? Nah. It sounds like.
Nah.
Danny?
Nah.
No?
He's too... Bring Tony back. If you want to bring a Danny type back.
Yes, nice. I think most people would take a Tony over Danny. Then who else?
I would say
Brandon,
Matthew. Rockfall Matthew. That guy loved Survivor.
That's
and
true.
If you love Survivor, that's a good way to get in. And he kind of had the game stolen from him, if you will. But he did go out as technically a quitter, so maybe Jeff says no thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, no, it doesn't feel like. Kane, probably no. Yeah, Josh, probably no. Yeah, you can start going through it. Sarah, Claire, Helen, Maddie.
Who would you want to see? I mean, Brandon I liked a lot, but he's an NFL player. He's like, I thought he was cool. That's all. I just thought he was cool.
Yeah.
Matthew fell off a cliff. You say stolen. He did that to himself. Like,
no doubt.
True.
I don't know. Maybe Matthew. I mean, if there's a second chances type vibe,
Oh, right. Yeah.
then it's like, well, this guy fell off a cliff. He learned his lesson. Now he's back, I guess. But I don't know. Again, I'm in a mood today, so I think the only three that I'm really interested in seeing play again, let's assume that Carson doesn't win. Like if one of them wins,
then
I don't think
take him out of the equation.
They take them out of the equation. Let's assume Carson doesn't win. I'd love to see him come back. And Yam Yam and Carolyn as well. I mean, they're just amazing.
I'm actually
characters.
not so clamoring for a Carson return if he were not to win this season. Personally,
Fair.
The other two, you put them on every season as Survivor.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in Yam Yam and Carolyn, they're incredible television,
Yes.
incredible characters. Carson, he's been great here with these ones. He could win this thing, be amazing for his age and all that.
Does he even make the top 5 nerds?
Of all time?
Of all-time Survivor. I mean, you got your David Whites, your Christian Hubickis, you got your Cochran. I mean, I would put Carson maybe there.
Yeah,
he's in the mix.
He might make top 5.
Yeah, he's on the Mount Nerd more.
So put him on the nerd tribe.
But to your point, there are Carsons that come around.
That's what I mean.
On the show quite often, whereas we
have
haven't seen a Yam Yam really.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a Carolyn really.
Yeah.
And personally, I would rather see Franny over Matt if we're choosing
Yes.
between one of those two.
Yep.
I thought she was a really good player.
Yep.
She's fine. The only time I ever want to see those two on TV again is at their wedding.
The wedding.
Televise the wedding.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Blood versus Water 3.
Oh.
They could come out together as a couple, hopefully.
Let's do that.
It's not blood.
Yeah, it is. If you're married, you're...
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because they had married
Tyson was
couples.
on
Tyson
this
was
one.
on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
one. I loved
girlfriend, maybe.
Blood versus Water is great. They need to bring that back.
All right.
It
90-minute
isn't
episode?
blood, though. You are right. It isn't blood.
No.
It's not.
It's technically not blood, but
Yes.
it's fan, you know.
They just went a bond.
Yes, Bond.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Well, Rupert was on with his wife.
Yeah, yeah. No, you
Also
were,
not
you were
blood,
right.
but yes.
Yeah.
I know, but for the purposes.
The purposes of, yes.
Okay. And
Jeez.
we're
We're going to need a DNA test here. Make sure you're actually brothers and sisters.
we are arguing about the weirdest things today, and I love it. Let's take our last break, and when we come back, we'll look at how we did in the No Buffs Fantasy Survivor Pool and look ahead to the penultimate episode of Survivor 44. Can you believe it? Don't go anywhere.
Here is the first thing I do every day in my kitchen. Before coffee, before breakfast. I get myself a glass of water, get out my Athletic Greens powder, I mix it, and I down it. Athletic Greens is just one scoop in a cup of water for better gut health, more energy, and a stronger immune system. Actually, I lied. Sometimes I will take the cup of water from my wife's bedside table that she never touches and use that water instead of a fresh pour. Gentlemen, can we talk about our wives' bedside water habits? Am I right?
Women be drinking water.
Cleaning up like 5 cups sometimes. I'm the one taking it downstairs. What about you guys? What about you fellas, huh?
Oh, I always make sure to bring a water bottle to bed for my wife, Dassy.
You ever seen the
Wow.
movie Signs? I don't want to spoil it then for you. But you may want to leave that water out on the bedside table, that's all I'm saying. Watch the movie.
I saw
It'll
the
make-
signs.
Watch it, okay?
All right. And it's still fantastic, even with that room temp water. Who knew vitamins tasted so good? So what is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Feels good to start my day with vitamins that taste good. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. It cost him $100 a day. He created Athletic Greens after understanding how difficult it was to create an optimal nutrition routine on your own. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/nodunks. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/nodunks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition insurance.
All right, back here in the factory, we've had a blast using the Make Your Picks app for our No Buffs Fantasy Survivor Pool. A little clarification from last night's scoring from our guy Chris. Carolyn did not get points for playing an idol successfully because there were 3 votes on Danny, 2 votes on Carson, 2 votes on Heidi. Strange voting, he noted.
Yeah.
You'd think the others would assume Tika would stick together. So technically the idol wasn't necessary. Bummer because it was such an awesome play.
Yeah.
But no votes, or excuse me, no points for Carolyn playing that because it wasn't successful, really. This is the last week to use your advantages.
Okay.
Spend your tokens, people, if you are in the No Buffs Fantasy Survivor Pool. And for the finale, Chris wanted to let everybody know, you will vote for who will be eliminated. So you'll pick 2 contestants, and you'll also vote for a winner. Each one will be worth 12 points. So you can get 36 points in the finale if you nail it. Can't play any advantages in the finale. So this upcoming episode, episode 12, next week, play advantages. Last week you'll be able to do so. And then in the finale, you'll have to pick some more people.
Okay.
2 that'll go, one of your winners. All right?
Yeah. And
Just so everybody knows.
I broke the bank playing advantages this last round because I was just like, Hail Mary.
Yeah, and how did it go?
Terribly. I picked Carolyn and Carson for some reason. It's total panic. And then I doubled the points on both of them.
Oh, sorry.
So,
okay.
I had to do something drastic. So
I also threw some tokens around.
Yeah, but it was you
a little better.
Fared better. I
think.
I
doubled up. I picked Lauren to go home to be eliminated and Danny.
Okay.
So I at least got 12 points for that. Didn't double up. I should have really went in.
Yeah.
Doubled them up on the double vote. But I didn't. So, who are you looking at though for next week here?
That's a tough call.
I'm going Carolyn.
Really?
I think the idol play and I think Carson and Yam Yam are looking at each other going, they may not realize it yet, or they're starting to realize that she's awesome, and I don't know if I can win against her.
This is all it comes down to the rest of the season. Are the Tika 3 going to stay true and just say, hey, man, look what we've done. Let's just go to the end and battle it out against each other. Or will they do...
Right.
Or will they do the, which would be better, television. Hey, we got to turn on each other here and try and do it sneakily. I don't know. I don't know which one is going to happen. I guess I've been saying all along, I do think there's going to be a very emotional Carson, Carolyn,
and Yam Yam.
Backstab.
And Yam
Yam, he would be included, yeah.
He's crying at the even thought of betraying Carolyn, which is going to be, great to watch. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the point in the game. I mean, it's always in the back of their minds. But now they're like, holy shit, I'm 6 players away from $1 million.
Yeah, I'm
$1 million.
5 days. Yeah.
So it's just like, do I want to be Kumbaya, half circle, moon dissolving into a half circle and sharing my feelings on the beach? Or do I want to walk away with $1 million from me and my family?
Yeah.
And I think that's why this game is so great and interesting.
So in the look ahead to next time on Survivor, it's called I'm the Bandit. Tika does keep saying they're in the majority, and I keep going, it is 3-3.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay. Lauren mentions how Carolyn is playing a sneaky good game. We get that, and then we get that shot of Yam Yam in the confessional saying, actually, he says, I think Carolyn can win, and then we see the confessional where he looks like he's crying.
Yes.
Trey, who's going home, my man? What happens?
I'll put my vote on Lauren.
Okay.
To go home. Too much Carolyn in the next time on Survivor for me to think she's actually going home. Heidi's got an idol, so I imagine she'll play it or save it. I also think she's going to fire, so she can't go out now. I think Carson's going to fire. He can't go out now.
Fair.
And then Jaime.
We're running low on people.
It's Jaime or Lauren, it feels like. And
Jamie's more goaty to me.
That's exactly right.
So I don't think she's going.
Yeah, that's where I had a vote for Jaime, and I'm second guessing now because it's like, why would they vote her out? I mean,
there's literally no reason.
Yeah, unless there's like a baller Heidi move or something where she plays an idol to try and keep her.
Oh, I mean, that's definitely that's what the risk is for Tika staying together, right? Is if they're sending vibes, we're staying together, and then Heidi plays her idol on whoever that they decide to go up.
They could pick who
you're
goes
gone.
home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You tell us, guys, in the live tribe, try and call your shot. Get in the No Buffs Fantasy Survivor pool. Use your tokens. Go crazy. Oh, I also tried to steal a vote from somebody.
And he got blocked.
I got blocked.
Got him.
I just randomly picked someone sort of near the top.
Really?
Yeah.
Just randomly?
Randomly.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe I got blocked. They probably did like the super idol block where it's like anybody that tries.
Yeah.
I mean, smart. Do that too.
That's cool.
Protect your votes.
I'm using so
Protect
many
your points.
things right here.
Oh, he's just going ham over here.
I have so many advantages left over right now.
Oh, wow.
Gotta use them all.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna see some big scores, I feel like, next week in the scoring system if everybody uses all that stuff. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Leave your boys a 5-star rating and review if you download and listen to No Buffs on whatever podcast subscription service you use. We'd appreciate that. And if you're live here, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to No Dunks on No Buffs. We will see you next week for the penultimate episode of Survivor 44. Till then, the tribe is spoken.